All right, welcome back to the channel. Errol Spence Jr. Some more information comes out that people are making a little too much noise about because they don't understand where we are from or what the rules are in the United States of America, specifically the state of Texas. Errol Spence Jr., after his car accident, the police found something that is allowed to shoot off lead. I'm not using that word in this video because YouTube is super funny about it, but just suffice it to know that expect to hear people trying to make out Errol Spence Jr. as being some type of criminal for doing something potentially that is 100% legal and very, very, very common in the great state of Texas. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel's subscribers. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe. Hey, shout out to my people that hit the join, that are members of the channel. Also to the Patreon supporters, thank you guys so much for your support. We got a whole new thing we're doing this year. You guys are gonna love it. We're gonna start uploading the new stuff probably sometime early tomorrow morning. It's got a lot of lead time and a lot of work you got to do on to get those up. So I wanted to get a certain amount done before I put them up, but they're coming in the next day or so. Thank you for your patience. Also, shout out to everybody that's over there on the live streams that come to the live streams Monday through Friday and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday. Make sure you're there with myself and my partner Blood, KQ, Trap, and Curtis Anderson, the boxing historian. All right, so we all know that Errol Spence Jr. got in a car accident, and according to Errol Spence Jr., the WBC, and your eyeballs, Errol Spence Jr. is okay. Errol Spence Jr. is supposed to come back, according to Errol Spence, sometime in late spring, early summer. You know, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that to the bank because there's other people involved in planning the fights. I'm sure he wants to get back. He sounds like he wants to get back as quickly as he can. He's in the gym training, all that type of stuff, right? So a lot of the initial, scare around it, I do believe should be gone. I also did a video about, after I had spoken to a member of his team about the way that his mouth sounded before the last fight, during the interview with Brian Kinney in the, what was that for the Jermell Charlo versus Tony Harrison fight right before the main event. He gave an interview. So now I'm gonna do another one because I want to put this stuff out there so the people understand, and there's not a lot of, because people just run around with a lot of stuff, especially a lot of stuff, accusing people of a lot of stuff. And there was an article that came out from, I think it's Boxing News put this article out, and it talked about how Errol Spence Jr. at the side of the accident, right? And the accident again was him rolling a Ferrari several times, but he got out safe. But there was a DUI, so he was found to be intoxicated. So he's so that's no secret. He's going through that. But also that there was a firearm at the scene, and World Boxing News put the story out about that there being a gun there, and it was loaded, and it was, I think they mentioned it was like $1,000. It was like $1,000 gun, very expensive one. But the police kept it because they could not Now I think what this article said was that there was no files charged, and the police kept it because they couldn't associate it with Errol Spence Jr. Now here's the thing, and something you should understand about that in the state of Texas. That's perfectly legal. This is in the United States. We are the state of Texas, where I live, is an open carry state, which means you can have one in your car. I don't even believe, now don't quote me on this, but I don't believe that if it's concealed that you even need a license. They don't do that it's a license, but if you have a license for the gun, there's situations where you don't need a license for a handgun. There might be some situations where you do need one for it, but having that in your car is something that people in Texas do often. And on top of it, I believe it's in the state constitution that you cannot even pass restrictive gun laws in the state of Texas. So the laws are what they are. It can't be like, one city or one like the city of Austin can have its own individual laws, and the city of Houston can have theirs, and the city of Dallas can have theirs, right? Or there's one area in Texas that can be more restrictive than the other. It's in the state constitution that you cannot pass restrictive gun laws. They believe in having them. If you ever talk to somebody from the state of Texas, they will tell you that everybody has them in their cars. They have them in their homes. If you play around with people in Texas, you might just get a couple in you. That's what it is. That's the culture in Texas. This is not the UK, right? Where it's illegal. This is not New York City. In New York City, in the United States, the state of New York, within New York City, I believe that, again, I'm not from New York, so you have to ask somebody specifically in New York. But from what I recall, or I've been told, that handguns are illegal in the state or legal in the city, illegal in the city of New York. And if you remember, there was a case where this guy, Plaxico Burress, had one, and he was in a nightclub, and it accidentally went off in his pocket, and there was charges filed on him. And I'm joking about the title is for assault with a deadly weapon on himself. Because it went off in his leg, because it went off in his pant leg. Now that's the state of New York. That's not the state of Texas. So the fact that happened and they still have it, I mean, maybe it was his, maybe it wasn't his. It could have been I doubt that it could have been that it was at the scene when the car happened. It could have been somebody else's that was in the car. It could be that Errol just is like, man, my car crashed, that's in there, I don't want anything to do with it. You can keep it. And he just didn't come back. He just didn't come back and claim it. But from what I understand, that doesn't even sound like there's anything illegal that he did. You know what I'm saying? Related to that particular weapon. But you know how things are, man. People are going to try to find a way to make the young man look like a criminal, right? Make him look like, well, if he's guilty of the DUI, technically speaking, he would have violated the law, and consequently that would be a crime, right? You can speed that's a crime. That's why you get tickets for speeding. But somebody that is a danger to society, or somebody that just has, as a result of some type of moral depravity or lack of responsibility, that somehow he's this wild, out of control dude that's running around playing cops and robbers, real life cops and robbers. I don't think that there's anything out there in this, to justify that. But what I'm hoping is that that we just get back to fights very soon. I hear Mikey Garcia saying that he's hoping that he can fight Manny Pacquiao in 2020. Man, why? You know what I mean? Why? This is Manny Pacquiao. I'm hoping that we can see what Errol Spence Jr. asked for and just go. I would like to see Errol Spence Jr. get a tune-up, or at least if you don't do a tune-up, get rid of the mandatory, get rid of the IBF mandatory. The what is his name? Is the Punisher? Is a Punisher that really can't punch his way out of a brown paper bag. He's more of a stick and move type of guy who beat up I think he beat Luis Collazo. He beat up Luis Collazo. Guys, it's not an Arabic name, but his nickname is the Punisher. He's got a name I cannot pronounce. Undefeated welterweight, but not a lot of punches. I kind of put him along the lines of a Sergey Lipinets, but a slightly less talented Sergey Lipinets. I would hope that, that even before the Danny Garcia, I would like to see Errol Spence in with that guy to get rid of the IBF, and then go the IBF mandatory, and then go straight to Manny Pacquiao. And that Mikey Garcia fight can hold that up. Because, you never know what's going to happen with Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao. Because the older Manny Pacquiao gets, and when you get older, you age, that day where you just can't do it anymore is getting closer and closer. And despite the fact that Manny Pacquiao, hey, man, this guy has had a terrific career, had a lot of longevity. That's a special fighter, man, who's accomplished a lot of things that very, very few people in boxing would have had the ability, to accomplish either through talent, either through the lack of the talent or the lack of opportunity. And there really is something about somebody, that not only had the opportunity but had the talent to back it up. For him to be a title holder in 4 different decades, man, that just really is a testament to that guy. But like I said, you never know when it's just too late. You know what I mean? When you're gonna get that, or it's just it's over. When you're gonna get that Joe Smith, Bernard Hopkins moment where somebody that should have never laid a hand on you puts you through the ropes. Because I thought that might have been the case with him and Jeff Horn. But he seemed to have a little bit of a resurgence after Jeff Horn through some careful matchmaking or some very opportune matchmaking. But anyway, it is what it is. I would hope that the Errol Spence Jr. fight happens next, but we'll see if that happens. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Just wanted to get that information out. And with that, I'm out. Peace.